That is lovely.
Oh shit! Come on! Come on!
Howdy, folks. Oh, I sounded very Texan then. Hello, everybody. I'm British. And welcome back to Mars. We're on the moon. Well, we're not on the moons of madness. We're playing the moons of madness, but we're on Mars. The moons are causing the madness. Possibly, probably. We're in a tunnel. We're in an atmospheric tunnel. I left it off here because this was clearly a nice place to leave it. It was just, I'm assuming, the start of a new chapter, but we haven't had a title flash up thing yet. Haven't played this in a couple of days. Oh. Don't stand in the stuff. Oh, it's the doors I can hear. I wonder what that was. Couldn't hear it over the atmospheric howling of whatever's actually howling.
Hide like rats under the floorboards. Stick their tentacles where they cannot. I have seen where they root, slither like snakes amongst the leaves.
Interesting that they put that there, considering it's clearly got a pry bar. Ah! Another pry bar. But what? Something tells me that this might not necessarily have linked back to the area that we've just come from. Maybe it did. Oh, bloody handprints. Everybody's favourites. So we're heading down to the Icarus Labs. At least I think that's the plan. Oh, they're Vox. Keep pressing E to interact. Icarus Complex.
God. It's completely taken over.
Filth, seething tendrils of a hive, ever expanding. Fools, they cannot be contained.
So there is something dark buried at the heart of Mars. As expected. Nope. So treading on the black stuff hurts more and faster now than it did before, showing our degrading mental state. While I was editing together a couple of previous episodes, I actually went and did a little bit of, a teeny tiny bit of the old research, Secret World-wise. And it was called The Filth back then as well. So it is the same entity. What the... Lovely. Blue glowy rock things. Computer. Formulae. Let's take a look at the computer. Fortunately, we've got the...
Orochi has leverage on everyone.
We have obtained the files requested and placed them onto this console for review. The files include detailed avenues of leverage against the Invictus crew. If there is need to put into place additional surveillance measures, we are prepared to do so. Right, so this is about Inna. So this is going to be background stuff. At age 27, Dr. Inna Volkova was directly involved in Avaria v. Krichev, which gained significance internationally as the incident at Krichor. For several years, she had worked as at a decommissioned military airbase a few miles outside of Krichor, Belarus. I think that... No, I'm not sure. Thousands in the small city were killed by an explosion at the base. An explosion meant to cover up a horrific containment breach of an alien substance being used in her research. The high-profile trial uncovered several classified experiments attributed to Volkova, with high-ranking officials within the government denying knowledge of her research. Before a verdict could be delivered, Volkova fled Belarus and claimed asylum at the Russian Federation's embassy in Tokyo. So was she responsible for the Tokyo incident? I think this takes place too far in the future. Stationed at the embassy, exiled in extradition, Inna was unable to continue her research. We offered her the opportunity to work without constraints. She accepted under the terms of the strictest NDA and forced return to Belarus upon disclosure. While her ethical integrity is questionable, her skill is undeniable. Recommend vigilant surveillance and determination of trust upon results. Shane, us. Minor childhood trauma, documented by licensed family psychiatrist, fear of abandonment, mild social anxiety. PhD from Miskatonic. Of peculiar note, created a practical equation to explain the theoretical underpinnings of Yang Mills and the mass gap in the sophomore year. The apocryphal claim is that it was made in single weekend, otherwise unremarkable. Dr. Newhart is key to our understanding of Cynthia Newhart's studies and possible whereabouts. Recommend continued surveillance of home and office. Potential asset for leverage if Newhart ever re-emerges from isolation. Recommend hiring at local Manticore office engineering position. Accept all salary requirements. Push for more information on Cynthia. Yeah. So we got the job because of our mom. First Lieutenant Josephine Wilcox, Special Forces Distinguished Service Cross, received 2052. January 16th, 2055, court-martial determined. Feb 2055, dishonourable discharge, record commuted, evidence expunged. Commander Wilcox resigned her post as of February 22nd, 2055, retaining her exemplary record and citing personal reasons for her exit. As per our contract, Wilcox began employment at our California-based Manticore facility under the strictest NDA. Record of discharge, Yemen. Friendly fire incident reported. 6 undercover agents killed during a strategic raid of suspected uranium smuggling operation. Wilcox-led team suffered 0 casualties. Facility neutralized. Yemen, July 17th, 2054. Inciting incident of Commander Wilcox court-martial proceedings. Multiple witnesses. After brief altercation, Wilcox discharged a pistol at less than 1 meter, causing a perforating wound in the skull of commanding officer Major Corey Houston. Wilcox turned and fired a second and third gunshot which entered the chest and shoulder of Captain Alan Sheffield. Before team members could advance and pull Wilcox away, another 2 shots were fired, critically wounded Captain Jaden Allen in the thigh and groin. Final shots were discharged into the ceiling as officers on site wrested their firearm away and detained her. Houston and Sheffield died immediately. Jaden Allen died in transit. Video evidence of the incident is retained at control. Her squad defended her action, echoing the sentiment that the officers in question knowingly caused a friendly fire scenario through mismanagement. Commander Wilcox received no punitive action for these events so long as we exert our influence. Declan. Masters in Mechanical Engineering. Trafficking in heroin. Involuntary manslaughter. Declan Delaporte has a history... This is our mate. Declan has a history of substance abuse, having self-admitted to rehabilitation centres twice. His court sentence closely coincided with divorce proceedings. On November 13th, Delaporte was admitted to a mental health facility for evaluation after an attempted suicide. The Virtue Recruitment has confirmed that Delaporte has remained clean for over 12 years as of January 1st, 2062, during which time he completed his degree with honours. He's experienced significant difficulties upon graduation due to his incarceration, and Orochi's offer of employment has been contingent on his willingness to maintain secrecy. Teleport is highly motivated, and Orochi has made arrangements to erase records of his dark past.
Oh, Lucas, what the fuck?
That's a lot of restraining orders. Dr. Van Buren's sociopathic tendencies were well documented during youth therapy. Lucas displays difficulty reading emotions and a lack of empathy for others in social settings. It notes that he was admitted to therapy after his parents discovered him performing a vivisection on the family cat. Dr. Van Buren's contributions to the field of philology are vast. His dedication helped trace the evolution of Central American language to its origination point. Most recently, he has helped translate Orochi's newly discovered ancient texts and star maps. Orochi has maintained surveillance evidence of Dr. Van Buren's activities during the disappearances of Abigail White and Tia Anderson in 2054 and 55, respectively. The videos show Lucas violently kidnapping and assaulting the women in his home, choking them until they suffocate, and then mutilating the bodies and disposing of all evidence. The chances of a violent altercation are slim, well within acceptable risks, and Dr. Van Buren has seen the recordings. He will accept any assignment given with no questions asked. He is our most leverageable assets. That's the wrong button. Well, so we've got a bit of backstory about the characters, which I will admittedly forget. Lucas is a psychopath and a stalker. Oh! That has got range. Is there anything in there that I actually want to get to? Doesn't look like it. That's probably just to introduce me to the... I didn't see what caused that sound. Thanks, mysterious voice. Oh, joy. More androids. Stone artifacts. Danger sensor. That computer is not on. Yeah, loads of stone artifacts, which I assume they've dug up. They don't seem to have too many assets for those. Why is that floating? It's cool looking in a tentacular way. Incidentally, apologies if I sound a little bit bunged up today. That one's looking at me. And that one. Right. So there's a... There's kind of an undulation of the spines down this thing. I'm just wondering... Oh. Spoopy music. And that's the trouble with spoopy music in open areas. it is not necessarily clear what it is or is supposed to be that we are supposed to be focusing on. Clearly something to do with those spiky pod things.
What is that? Ugh. What is that?
It's a baby? It looks like an, yeah. English has become hard. Yeah, it looks like a baby that's been injected or crossed over with something. Highly pleasant. Well, can't go through there. What I'm hoping... Yeah, they've been trying to grow things. Lots of things. Oh yeah, we can't jump, can we? I've been playing too much of the Outer Worlds. Yeah, it looks like they've been trying to grow things. Yep, that made me jump. Wait, where did it go? I was expecting... Oh, it's there. Did the door fall on it? I think the door fell on it. I'd have to watch that back. Did it open the door and then it fell off its hinges? Or was it... Was it just that and it stopped? I don't know. Glistening. Checkpoint reached. Great. But yeah, the whole jump scares thing. Kind of unnecessary. You know, create good atmosphere and we're going to be scared regardless. Hold on. Is this the same tunnel as before?
You're trembling, little one. Let me swaddle you in viscera.
Oh. That's nicely written.
Get out of my head.
You could crack open your helmet like a walnut. Let it mute back, and my voices will still be. Not in the spaces we know, but in between.
That, the sandstone texturing is not very good. Alright, that's where we're supposed to go. Oh, we've got some padded cells. Wonderful. That's a hand. That's a normal hand, isn't it? I think that's normal. Muck on the walls. Look for the door code. Oh, I see. So we need it for there. So what was this over here? Access denied.
A hand scanner. Looks like it opens a door to an elevator.
Only discarded pieces block the path. Rain synapses. Unanswered question.
I thought the hand being there might have offered a clue as to what I'm... Yeah, that's an ultrasound scan. No, guess there's nothing down there. Or maybe we have to come back to it later. It's probably only there so that you can have a symmetrical building layout, because that tends to make more sense. Oh. Huh. I kind of want to look at these first.
Holy shit. That's all of us. The entire Invictus crew. Are we the originals? Or the copies?
Oh. That's us. Right, I'm hoping there'll be some more about this on the computer. So is that...
We're all expendable assets to Orochi. Wasn't enough to know all our secrets. They can't leverage us, they'll just replace us.
The Icarus Project is authorised to enact a contingency plan in case of unforeseen circumstances that may put the Invictus crew at risk. A replica of the individual will be made and preserved until a severe violation has occurred. Severe violations of company policy include the following: unauthorised transmission of operations information to an outside source regardless of content, verbal threat or intent to control or sabotage mission objectives or company equipment, homicide, witnessing a homicide. Right, why is witnessing a homicide a severe violation? Sustaining a fatal or crippling injury, witnessing the retrieval or release of cloned subjects. Please review proper safety guidelines before retrieval or release of cloned individual. So there could be more of us around. Cloning successful. Organic tissue shows no signs of deterioration through advanced aging process. Memory implantation through nocturnal brain scan completed. So is that why they've been having bad dreams? Because clones. Well, that's messed up.
It doesn't end.
Split from a single seed. Germinated, scribbled on
So they're making more copies of the crew.
like vermin. Sentience is a glitch in the sensory organs. Pain, a cancer fed by reality.
Whoever did the voice acting for this mysterious voice is loving it. So I wonder then, are we already copies? Experiment 279, Project Icarus. We are experimenting with the substance/phenomenon/entity oftentimes called the filth, what Dr. Volkova prefers to call Z-Path. Each sample tightly contained and weakened with a particular regimen of radiation as per the Icarus protocols. The goal of this experiment is to see if the effects of this preternatural containment are the same on cloned human tissue and cloned hybrid human tissue as on normal human tissue? If the effects are not the same, how do they differ? Today we applied minute amounts of the filth on cloned cells, using the safety protocols, and observed. Effects were largely similar, with the molecules of containment attacking the cells. However, the process moved more slowly than observed before. So this is how you write a scientific log. Very factual. The filth has escaped. I've sealed my safety suit and performed all the emergency protocols. I've injected the radiated serum as outlined in the procedures. The side effects are intense but mundane and far better than the alternative. How did this happen? There was no breach. I think the theory that the filth flows, even undulates, along dimensions outside of our perceived 3 may have merit. I have sent for help. I am trying not to panic. I am recording the findings this mishap affords. The voices continue. I ignored them at first, congratulated myself on my rationalism. But then the voices learned to mimic my voice, and I thought they were me, and I was the voices. No, that doesn't make sense. The radiation must be working. My limbs have begun to do things on their own, but only when I'm not looking. I have to stare at my limbs very carefully, or they misbehave. I've made a careful regimen of making sure to not look at any one body part for more than 7 seconds. I have to keep watching them, except for my right arm. Good arm. I'm a scientist. Scientist! See, that's quite good writing, showing a slow descent into insanity. Cut off arm today. Right arm. Good arm. You'll notice that the capitalization, you know, the proper grammar has disappeared. Cut off arm today. Right arm. Good arm. Only uncorrupted part. Pristine. It will be pristine forever. Stored good arm in the morgue. Code 9510. 9510. That will be the code for the door. And that will allow us to get through the handprinty bits. So much tat on my desk today. Everyone is safe. Scientist. Scientist, scientist, scientist. You got nuts. Doesn't actually say which scientist it is. So we're going to get the guy's or gal's hand. I am 100% instantly waiting for the clones to wake up and jump scare me. Oh, is that a 6? I can't read my own handwriting. Huh? 9, 5. Is it a 1? Yeah. Helps if I can read my own handwriting. Filthy. Jump scare. No. And jump scare.
Oh god, that's disgusting.
A tactile tool, tender.
Add to inventory. And jump scare. Less jump scary than I had anticipated. Which means that we're due one. That is lovely.
Oh shit! Come on! Come on! Come on, open! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Come on! Come on!
Come on.
Open! Come on! Shit!
That was a decent piece of voice acting. And now, smash through the window.
The moon's gravity pulls so strangely. It tugs at the tides of the mind. It pulls the planet apart. Do you feel it?
I like that. The tides of the mind. Just going to come to life and chase us? Well, this is...
Mind open like a nocturnal flower, aching for the pollinator bat. I walk through nameless eons and inconceivable dimensions to worlds of elder outer eternity. Oh, how rot casts a shadow. A corona surrounds the dark.
Oh, joy! Spores! Nothing ever goes wrong in spore places. Ooh. A temple buried deep within Mars. My kind of jazz. Eight-headed monster.
Unauthorized access. Security en route. Please await lethal response.
Locked in. What are they keeping here? Meeting at 5:12? That's oddly specific.
Yes.
New Eden. Orochi is planning on building a city here. A failsafe.
As expected.
No escape. The dream will consume them. They are inevitable.
The clock is stuck on 4:23.
Right, these numbers are going to be important. So clock 4:23, meeting 5:12. We're going to have to alter the clock. So it's meeting time. Lighting 20. Sound 100. Numbing 100. Communication with the dreamer. We're going to have to work out all these puzzles in a bit, I think.
The CEO of Orochi was here. It makes no sense.
On Earth.
The password.
An emergency failsafe if Project Eclipse is released. If I can lower the shield, I can get out of this room.
Status quarantine. Blast doors active. Magnetic stasis field online. The fragment has become agitated. The workers are unable to resist its communications. They scratch the walls, running through the complex, reduced to a wild, animalistic frenzy. I was able to close the chamber and enact the highest protocols, but I can hear the echoes ring in my ears. I see the crew with the Serrano. I've never seen them before, but I know who they are with all my being, and they stare through cracked helms, the filth reaching out towards me. I can't stay here. Eclipse has been shuttered. I've activated the proper protocols. I doubt they will be enough. Doors will automatically unlock in the event that subject of Project Eclipse is released. Project Symmetry.
The rush is upon you. You don't get to be the same person after they get in.
Project Symmetry. The numbing agent used in Project Eclipse to keep the fragment under control is created from the strange metal powering the machine in the alien ruins. Since the active mechanism for sedation is poorly understood, we have taken the precaution of stockpiling a large amount of the metal on board the Invictus. In the event of an emergency, the Invictus can be launched. A self-guiding rocket has been attached to the payload. It can be triggered with a code phrase once the Invictus safely clears the atmosphere. Communications specialist Delapore was tasked with loading the payload and setting up the detonation trigger. Due to the sensitivity of the operation and his location at the off-site communication dish, he is considered the operative with the most chance of success in case of a catastrophic event. He alone knows the trigger word. So Declan knows something. Father, the Cyrano has crashed. Something happened. An EMP? We could not analyse it in time. The filth has reacted violently and unpredictably, spreading like a cancer across the entire base. The Dreamer fragment has sent the workers into a panic, searching for a way to escape. The security system has been triggered. The entire base has been compromised. I've shut down Project Eclipse. An emergency kill signal has been sent to shut down communication via Angelus. We will leave no trace. Cyrano location reports. The Immortal Engine. Father, as you know, we owe a great debt to the work of Dr. Cynthia Newhart. This site was chosen based on her latest work, notes and research kept under the strictest clearance. While her exhaustive library of equations and school symbology has been daunting, our analysis still continues to see results, most recently in the acquisition of 2 recent items. You are already aware of the fragment of a Dreamer, which we recovered. Research continues into the significance of this fragment and how it tries to communicate. Using the magnetic energy signatures first recorded by Amundsen's expedition to Antarctica, we were able to triangulate the location within kilometers. Through excavations of Site 9, the team is excited to announce that we've uncovered an actual Gaia engine on Mars. Further exploration in the chamber containing the engine has been halted, and we defer to your judgments. Gaia engine. Intercepted unauthorized video transmission. Pounding/muffled talking. This is Trevor Graham, commander of the Cyrano. An EMP fried our circuits systems, and we are currently hurtling towards Mars at approximately 50 meters per second. Fuck protocol. Fuck Orochi. It wasn't hours after they sent us the coordinates. I could see it in everyone's eyes. Dr. Badou drew the short straw when the heat shield controls malfunctioned. We're not equipped for a mission like this. Command knew it. It's an effing support crew. But we followed procedure. After 20 minutes, he stopped responding to comms. We tried to reel him in, but his face... When he turned, his entire face was covered in blackness. Just a spider webbing of black oil across the entire thing and leaking out into the void. It cracked straight through the helmet. Constanza grabbed his arm and that shit crawled up her suit, wrapped around and squeezed itself inside. Pounding? The airlock. Couldn't let them back in. The infection. Just being near it makes my temples seethe. They're all infected. Doesn't matter though. The hatch won't close. Any time now we're going to burst apart and rain down in pieces on the Martian deserts. Pierce and Vogel are lucky. They're still asleep in their pods, won't feel a thing. I'm taking it down with me. All of it. This is the Cyrano. 1. About to enter the Martian atmosphere on a secret mission to help stake a claim. They don't care about the lives they lose to do it. You hear me, Orochi? The whole world's going to see this thing. The whole world will know. So, were they bringing... The implication there is that they...
I'm getting out of here. I wonder if those consoles have anything to do with Project Eclipse.
Were they bringing part of the filth back?
So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he had been taken. Genesis 3:23.
Genesis 3:23. 3 numbers again. Something tells me that may be important. Yeah, see, there's several consoles with numbers and stuff. We'll find out next time. Yes, I'm going to leave you in suspense there. I'm liking this. I'm liking the story it's trying to tell. It's straightforward, but it's evocative. And realistically, that is the point of a lot of cosmic horror narratives. They are evocative. They make you think. They make you question. They don't necessarily give you the answers, but they often make you ask questions. It does seem to be the case of they've dug too deep. They've messed with forces well beyond their control. Not a particularly new concept for a story, but as effective as it has always been. We'll find out next time exactly what these numbers are for, what these consoles do, if we can talk to the dreamer, if we're going to get out alive. I think that's a big if, because we're on Mars, and I don't think we've got a working spaceship. So we'll find out next time, or some point in the future. Thank you all for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave the old thumbs up and comment. It really does help me figure out what kind of content I should be producing. And until next time, ta-ta. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.